Welcome to my channel. Feel free to stay a while. This video is a little bit different than my normal content, but I've been super obsessed with crocheting this past year, and so I just wanted to show you everything I made. I think I'm gonna go in chronological order from what I first made until now. I have made quite a few things since March. Also, if you haven't seen, I actually filmed my first ever project I ever made on my channel. It is up. I will link it somewhere. You should go watch it. It's pretty funny. Okay, let's just get right into it with the first thing. And if you've already seen my video, you've seen this one. But this is the first thing that I ever crocheted back in, I wanna say March, probably March of this past year. And I went full in and I went with the top. And it was kind of hard. I think it was mostly just getting familiar with how to even hold the yarn needle and like stitches and things like that were the hardest part. But overall, I was very impressed with myself. And I made this top. It ties in the back, which you will find that's a theme with most of my tops. And yeah, I've had this since I made it back in March, and I've washed it multiple times and still held up really great, which is awesome. Because I also was a little bit nervous to see how things wash and wear, but so far so good. Oh, and I'm gonna rate all of them. I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10. I'm tempted to go to a 7, but I think I'm gonna do an 8 just because, yeah, it was my first one, but if you can tell, the cups are kind of different. This one was my first one and it looks kind of ugly. This one looks a lot better, but I still think an 8 is fair because it's pretty good and it looks really good on me and I really like it. Next, I got a little crazy, and Coachella was right after I started crocheting, so I thought, why not crochet something for me to wear to Coachella? This was the top that I made for Coachella originally, and the thought was there. It could have been super cute, but I made it too small. I was super mad because I kept trying to measure it to my measurements and it just wasn't working out, and it does tend to fall down, which is why I added the extra strap, but even with that, it does still like to fall down. So I was like, I am not gonna wear this to Coachella and possibly have a mishap in front of hundreds of thousands of people. But I made this dress. Again, I'll put up footage, it's kind of hard to tell, but I made this dress. This was actually so easy. It was very time consuming, but all over it was easy. And I love this yarn. Like, I just love the rainbow. I think it's so cute and so bright. And it was perfect for Coachella because it was hot as hell. Oh yeah, I forgot to rate this one. Since this was a flop, I'm gonna rate this a 3 out of 10. If we rate it on practicality, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Because it's not practical, but it's so cute. Okay, next thing. So in July, I had a music festival coming up, so I figured, like Coachella, why not make myself something? Because it's the perfect time to do that. And so I made this little bikini top. I'll kind of show you here. And it ties around the back, obviously. But I made this, and I wasn't thrilled with it only because this is one skein of yarn, both of these colors. It's just, if you were to make like a big square, you would see the variation. But with this, it just made them 2 different colors, which I wasn't super stoked on. It's very soft and it feels nice. And after further looking at it, I do like it a lot more than I did to begin with. But since I wasn't super stoked on this, like the Coachella thing, I made something else. And these are actually pretty easy as well. I was able to whip both of these up in a week, I wanna say, just periodically. But I made this one instead. I really feel like this yarn is the perfect festival yarn, honestly, because it's so colorful and bright and you stand out. But yeah, I made this one. So cute. I was so happy with this one. This one I love. So let's rate both of these. So this one I'm gonna give a 6. I'll give it a 6 because it does fit really well and it is constructed like fairly well as well, but I'm not stoked on it. I wish this was black yarn, and I don't know, I thought the variation of color was gonna be different. And then this one, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because I love this one and I will be wearing it again next summer. And I love making these little bikini tops. I think they're so cute. Next thing is I made this super cute one shoulder top. And like the other, it does tie in the back. I know it's hard to tell because it's black, but it does tie in the back. And this is so cute. I am super happy with the way that this turned out. This was super easy too. I would be down to make these in a bunch of more colors. But I mean, it fits me super well. And having the ties, it's pretty much always gonna fit. That's kind of why I always do that. And because I do think over time yarn stretches out. So I think having the ties makes it so even though you wash it a bunch of times, you can still fit it to your measurements, even though it stretches out a little bit. I'm gonna leave links in the description of all the videos that I watched, like the tutorials that I watched of all of these, if any of you want to look at them or use them because they're very useful. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 because this was great, it fits great, it wasn't super hard to make, so 10 out of 10. Next thing is actually the top that I'm wearing. This was a very last minute thing that I made for Halloween. But yeah, it's just this little black deep V-cut shirt with ties in the back like always. And it has the crisscross straps. It's super flattering. I needed this for my Cruella costume because her dress is a V-cut and I didn't have anything like that. So I threw this together, and I will say this is one of my more frustrating projects that I've done, and I think it was because A, I didn't have a lot of time, and B, I was kind of just trying to mix a bunch of tutorials together to get exactly what I wanted, and it didn't really work out in my favor. You can see how this right here was the cup originally, just the ones going horizontally. That was the cup. That was not gonna be big enough. So then I went back in and I did all of these diagonal ones to make it fit, which is great. It works out great, but it was so annoying to do and I was racking my brain and I feel like I had to take it out a bunch of times and redo it. But with all that being said, I think I'm gonna rate this a 6.5. Because it looks cute and I got it done, but it was a pain in my ass. Oh, I'm forgetting because I do have a couple things that I made that I don't have anymore because I gave them as gifts. Okay, so for Mother's Day, I made my mom a makeup bag. I don't have it because I gave it to her, obviously. I'll see if I can find a picture because I did post it on my Instagram. That was the first time I ever had to crochet a zipper onto something, which was surprisingly difficult. And overall, I kind of hated it. I just did not like the shape that it came out. She loved it. I mean, moms love handmade stuff, so you can't go wrong. But I would have to rate it a 4 out of 10 just because I hated the way it looked. I really didn't want to give it to her like that, but I had already sewn the zipper on and everything, and it wasn't terrible, so that's what I'll give that. Speaking of things that were super annoying to make and kind of pulling teeth, is this hat. I made this little bucket hat, and don't get me wrong, it's not awful. I mean, it's cute, but I was very disappointed, and I think it's just because I used a very small yarn needle, and so it was extremely tedious. I did this while I was camping, and it was so tedious because you can tell, like, all of the stitches are so small, and so it took me forever, but yeah, I wanted it to be a bucket hat style, kind of where it was flat, you know what I mean? Like I wanted it to be just flat, like a bucket hat, and it came out all curly. So I'm gonna give it also a 6.5, because it's not awful. I think it's cute. It looks super cute on Autumn, so I'm glad that she'll take it, but it just wasn't what I wanted. The next thing that I made, I also don't have because I gave it to Maddie, and that is a Bolero top. I do have some pictures I'll put here, but I made another one for myself, so I do have that to show you. So I just made this Bolero top. It's basically just a little top with long sleeves. I think they're super cute. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but I think they're super cute. And I love this yarn, like the variation of colors is so good, and it's really soft. The one I made Maddie is so soft. I wanted to make myself with the same yarn, but I didn't want to have the same thing as her. But that yarn is so amazing. I ended up making a bunch of headbands with it. But I think this is so cute. I made a TikTok with it. Go follow me on TikTok. I'm gonna give both of the Boleros like a 9.5, maybe a 10. Yeah, probably a 10. I think they're both super cute. They're super comfy and honestly not that hard to make. And this stitch itself was super fun. I have ones like the hat, not fun. This, really fun. So on to things that I also don't have are the headbands that I made with the same yarn that I made Maddie. because I gave them to my sister-in-law for her birthday and the girls, but I do have footage of that because I filmed myself doing it. All right, next up is one of my favorite things that I've been making recently. I've made a bunch of them already, and I have a couple more to make for Christmas, but they are beer koozies. I think these are so cute, I will say. So I have two that I made that I don't have, because I gave them to Autumn for her birthday, and those were definitely a trial run, because the first one I made didn't fit a can, and I was super bummed, but it would fit like a White Claw or like a skinny can. So I gave her that still, and then I made her another one that will fit. But then I found a different stitch style. So I found these with the handles, and it is so cute. And it's just like cozy. I mean, it's a koozie, it's a cozy koozie. And obviously you don't have to put beer in here, you can put whatever can fits in here, but it's just super cute, and I feel like they make really good gifts, and they're really, this style is so easy to make. 10 out of 10, I like these are fun. So moving on to the last few. The past few and all these next ones I've made in this past month because Christmas is coming up, so I'm really trying to ramp up and make a bunch of stuff. But this one, so cute, so easy. I can make like 50 of these. This took me like 20 minutes to make, but it's a little bookmark. Let me see if you can see. It's a little bookmark. Like, how cute is that? And I think the stitch is so pretty. Like, it looks like little sunbursts. And it has a little tassel. I love this. I'm super happy with it. I'm giving it to my friend for Christmas. Hopefully, I don't think she watches all my videos, so hopefully she doesn't watch this, but yeah, this is for my friend. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10 because so easy, so quick, and makes a great gift, and I had fun doing it. 10 out of 10. This one, also a gift for Christmas, but I made my mother a potholder. I did not know I was gonna have to make two of these and attach them together. I thought I was just gonna have to make one, and making one was already annoying. So this was pretty annoying to make, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's just a pot holder, pretty basic. She said she wanted one, so here's that. I'm gonna give it a 5.5 because it looks nice, but it was super annoying to make. All right, and we have reached the last item that I have made this year. I want to do this again next year because I will have way more time. I'll start in January and not March, and I'll probably make way more things. But with that being said, this one is probably one of my favorites. This little baby blanket for my niece, I love it. I kind of just made this on a whim. Like, I just knew a stitch and I did the stitch, and here we are. Let me try to back up and see if I can show you the size of this because it's hard to show on camera. It's so cute. Like, it's such a cute little size. It'll fit her great because she's only one. This was 2 skeins of yarn, so 2 balls of yarn. I wasn't sure how much I could get with one, but this is exactly 2. But it's so cozy. The only thing I'll say, I did make the problem of trying to buy cheap yarn, and it served me right that it was cheap for a reason. And so this sheds like crazy. I'm hoping it doesn't shed now that it's all done, but the process of like making it and pulling it out and like, you know, doing all the things, but it's so soft and cozy, and I'm so happy with this. It was so easy to make. So yeah, that is everything that I have crocheted this year as a beginner, a complete beginner. All I did was watch tutorials, so I've had a bunch of people recently that are like, you're inspiring me to crochet, it looks super fun. It is, it's so therapeutic. I recommend it to anybody. It's just a great little hobby that you have things after, you know? You're not just like doing something and getting nothing out of it. You have this product at the end, and it's so much fun. So I recommend to everyone. And with that being said, make sure to always like, comment, subscribe, all the things, you know the things, and I will see you next time. Bye!